I'm a 47-year-old corporate girly that would like to retire in 8 years, but I have no retirement savings. I am $100,000 in debt. $85,000 of that is student loan debt that I am hoping gets forgiven. So I'm currently making 0 payments on it, and it is accruing 0 interest right now. I am also $14,000 in credit card debt that I'd like to pay off by the end of this year, but I don't know how to do that because I don't make enough money. Welcome back to my channel. It is so good to see all your beautiful faces. I don't normally formally address hate comments on my videos. Normally I just either let them go or address them in the comment section. But I have been getting so much hate comments on my videos. And this morning I got one that was really triggering. And I'm going to share it with you. This screenshot will be up here so you guys can see who left it, because I'm messy like that, and what the comment was. So this person said that I was basically e-begging, like electronic begging on the internet. And I am so triggered by that because that can't be farther from the truth. Of course, I will be making money off of the videos that I make. That's just a given. That's how social media works. But I never really started this channel as like, my main goal wasn't like, start the channel and make money. Of course, I do want to make money because I'm putting in hard work, editing and making all my cleaning videos that I make and all of these videos. And I am never one on the internet. You will never see me on live begging for money like people on social media do from time to time. You will never see me in these videos ask you guys to send me money. That will never happen. I do want to be fairly compensated for all the work that I put in editing, filming, putting my life on the internet for everyone to see. Of course, who wouldn't want to be fairly compensated for that? This is a second income for me. But I never started this channel as a way to make money. I started this channel mostly because in COVID times, I saw a lot of the girls and they were making their little aesthetic like cleaning and organizing and restocking videos. And I was like, oh my God, I love those videos. And my friend, he was like, you should make those videos. And at the time, I was just not in the good mental or emotional state to make any videos for the internet. I was living in a roommate situation. I did not like it. I was very low. I was kind of low-key depressed. And so I knew I was going to get out of that because I sold my house and I would be able to not have to do the roommate thing anymore, which I had to do because I was paying for a mortgage and for rent. And I couldn't afford to live on my own and do both. So I had to go to the roommate thing for a year while I sold my house, which only took a couple of months. I could have probably gotten out of my lease, but I didn't. I stayed there for the year while I tried to decide what my next move was. That is when I decided to move from North Carolina to Florida, where I live now, and I'm so much happier here. And I said, when I move, I'm going to start making the content that I love to watch, because I'm going to have so much fun making that content, editing it, and putting it out to the world. And I do. I absolutely do. I also wanted to make sure that I was being a really good steward over the things that God has blessed me with over my lifetime. Because I felt like when I was in apartment situations before where I lived on my own, I just don't feel like I was being a very good steward. I wasn't keeping up with the cleanliness of my home as much as I had wanted to. And I kind of was low-key depressed because I was in so much debt like I am now. and I didn't see a light at the end of the tunnel. So I started making the cleaning content as a way to kind of be a good steward over my home, but also motivate other people to keep their home clean and bright and cheery for them and for their families. And now I love having a clean home to come into. It's so enjoyable. I wake up, my home is clean and organized. I go to bed and I can look over my home and it's clean and organized. And it just makes my heart so happy to have those things. And then I started thinking, I love making vlogs, and I made some vlogs on this channel. And I kind of took a hiatus from the vlogs over the summer just because working in an office where I have to be in office 5 days a week and making the cleaning content and everything, I was just getting a little overwhelmed. So I decided to take a hiatus from the weekly vlogs I was putting out. But then I was like, well, I still love making content. What can I make to kind of replace the vlogs for the time being? And then I was like, man, I've been stuck in this debt scenario for the last few years, and I really want to get out of it. And I really want to share that journey with my online community that I'm building, because back during the pandemic times when I realized how much debt I was in, and I had no clue how to get out of it. And I knew that I was nearing the time that my kids would be under the age of 18, and I was going to have to pay child support until they were 18. And I was like, okay, I only have a little bit of time left. I need to start thinking about the next steps. My girls are growing up and they're going to be off on their own. I won't have to pay that $800 whatever dollars in child support every month. That's going to free up some of my money. But I still was just in this haze, and I felt so depressed during COVID. I was in so much debt. I didn't know how I was going to get out of it, but I knew that I had this fresh new beginning in a couple of years when my kids would be 18. I would be free of my abusive ex-husband, and I wouldn't have to be paying child support. And I wanted to try to think about what my life would look like after that. And I started to do a lot of healing of my childhood trauma that I have been through because I have emotionally unavailable parents. And I really just started to think about that and do my healing and everything. And then once I came out of that and I felt like I was really ready to start actually sharing on the internet my most inner, deepest desires and concerns and goals and everything, because it takes a lot out of a person to share their most inner self with millions, potentially millions of strangers on the internet. I was scared, but I was also excited to do that. And I knew that somebody else out in this world was probably scared of their debt scenario like I was, saw no light out at the end of the tunnel like I did, and I wanted to be able to build a community so that way they didn't feel alone like I did. Because once I started to do a lot of healing, I started to realize I'm not the only one in this scenario. It's not woe is me. I can get out of this. I am still somewhat young enough that I can still change my life around. And I wanted other people to be able to see that as well and be able to do that as well. So, no, I'm not e-begging. I'm not electronic begging. I wanted to build a community around people that were like-minded, that like the cleaning videos that I make because it motivates them, or they just enjoy it because internet is also for entertainment as well. We don't always have to seek purpose and fulfillment from watching people on the internet. But I also wanted to build a community around people that were also struggling financially and wanted a place to be able to come that was safe from judgment and they were able to express their truest self, goals, life lessons, anything that they can share in the comments that would be helpful for other people. And that's kind of why I started making this kind of content, as well as the cleaning content and the vlogs that I make. I didn't want this to be like a single-minded kind of channel where we picked a niche and just went into our niche and that was all we did. I don't live like that. I don't live like one single thing where all I do is just clean all day long. No, I have a lot of hopes and desires and dreams, and I am a multi-talented, functional, kind of person. We're not all robots. So that was just my reasoning behind making this channel and the content that I make, and I really enjoy making the content, and I really enjoy connecting with you guys in the comments. We've got that out the way. Now we are going to get into the weekly bank account audit, which is why I really came online in the first place today. I'm going to share with y'all how I spent my money this week. And then at the end of the video, I am going to share if we went over or under the budget that we set for this pay period. And I will get paid on Friday, and we'll be making a budgeting video on Friday for the next 2 weeks. For reference, I did have family in town. We don't live in the same city, like my eldest daughter that lives in Florida and myself. We don't live in the same city, so there was a lot of driving around that occurred, which I'm happy to do. I love hanging out, but it was also a little bit stressful because I was trying not to go over budget. And I was like, I'm probably going to end up going over budget. But we will find out if I did or didn't at the end. For gas this past week and today, because I already got everything I need for this next coming week, gas and groceries already bought. So for gas, I spent $68.29. And for groceries and miscellaneous, because we coupled that together for the pay period, because I knew I was going to be spending on food and grocery items and stuff like that my family might need while they were in town. So I just lumped that together for this pay period. So for gas and groceries and miscellaneous for this past week, I spent $322.69. And then I paid my electric bill this morning. I spent $101.65 on that. And then my car insurance has not come out, but I know it's about to come out any day now. And I will be spending $287.34 on that. And just for reference, which I forgot to do at the top of the video, I do not have a car payment. I paid off my car last year. So the only thing that I really have to pay for is my car wash membership that I pay monthly for, and then my car insurance. I'm a salary employee and I make $2,150.59 bi-weekly. And now, drum roll for the part of the video that everybody wants to probably know. Did I go over budget or did I go under budget? And in which categories did I go over or under budget in, or equal out, zero out? For gas, I always budget $100 for 2 weeks. That's $50 each week. I don't normally even spend $100. Sometimes I'm close. But like I said, I was running around like a mad woman, driving around, plus I had to go to work, stuff like that. So I did go over budget by $11.71 for gas. For groceries and miscellaneous for the last 2 weeks, I basically budgeted $460. That's for groceries and for gas, or for miscellaneous items that I was going to need while my family was in town. And I really did try not to go over budget. I thought about my purchases. I was like, if other people are going out to eat, am I going to be able to go? Those kinds of situations. But also, I don't live in the same city as my daughter, so it's kind of hard not to go out to eat at certain points, because I would have to drive 30 minutes home, 30 minutes back. It was like, am I going to spend the money on food or am I going to spend that money on gas? running around trying to eat from home. And I didn't really have a lot of food that was prepared to bring with me to sit in the car for like 8 hours a day. Sometimes we were just in the car. So I did go over budget by $23.07 in my grocery and miscellaneous category. And the only other category that I went over budget, if you remember last week, we paid my Truist credit card payment, and that was $127. And I did not look before I budgeted, so I only budgeted $100. So I did go over by $27 for that. So all in all, I went over $61.78 for the entire budget. But I am so geeked out about being able to see this now that I'm doing it this way, because now I can see this and I can see what I'm going under and over on, and I can be like even more mindful because I have this like visually there. I'm a very visual person, so being able to see if I went over or under or just zeroed out the category is going to be so helpful for me. Oh, I forgot to tell you how much I spent for the week. For this past week, I spent $779.97. Okay, I love y'all. This has been a long video. I hope you watched the whole thing, and I will see you in the next video. Bye!